Hi. So, automatic test equipment is something that's used typically in a factory to test what's been made in the factory and make sure it works. It's an important step as part of a factory process to make sure that you test what you built, because there can be errors. They're not common, but they can happen, and you don't want to send out duff products, so AT is important. Now, I've got a flasher board I made to do this, and I've sent it to the factory that makes my boards. I've now got a new version, and this version has a display which makes it easier. Now, the equipment uses this. It's a TC2030 connector, and the reason I use this is because it has no cost on the board. When I say no cost, adding pads and holes to a board essentially costs nothing. It's not a component. It's not got a feeder loader fee to load the component and not got to place it on the board. It's literally part of the printing and milling process for the board. So the board would be the same cost with or without these pads. So it's essentially free. This bit costs a bit more, but essentially free. And basically you shove it in there. You can get locking modules. This one's just friction, which is perfectly good for long enough to program this board. Now, this is the actual module. This is the new module. Got a display. It takes USB power and normally we'd like it connected to the internet to start with. It doesn't have to be connected to the internet. All of the files are stored on an SD card down here. But if you connect it to the internet, which can be on a mobile hotspot, the factory may not have internet access that I can use, but a mobile hotspot with the right credentials we can provide would allow it to connect, update to the latest files, which might take a few seconds. And once that's done, you can turn off the mobile hotspot. It only needs to be there at the start of doing a batch of boards. Once it's done, it's ready to go. It also has this button, and basically it's designed to take 10 different manifests. There's actually lights up here which light up, so this is the last one. If I go to the first one, it's a board called Fake Out, which is one of the main boards we make. But I've got a couple of others. I've got LED C12, and you'll see it's got a picture of exactly what the board looks like with the plug, with the TC2030 lead plugged in. So this just makes it really obvious what board you're dealing with. I've also got this one, which is a general purpose board. Now, the way these various boards work is the code is loaded onto the board. It then does a self-test. There's lots of things it can do. But I do have new boards that I haven't written any software for yet, and I don't have a self-test for. And for these, I can use this, which this just tests that it can talk to the ESP32 processor module, that module on there. It doesn't test anything else. But other boards test a lot more. So if we go to the Fake Out, the Fake Out board looks like this. And it has self-test in two ways. Its main job is transmit and receive to an aircon controller. And those pins are connected to two spare pins on here, which are looped back in my tester, so that this can test, transmit back to receive. It also has an LED, but even that has GPIO out and looped back in, so it can test the LEDs present and wired up. So it can do various tests. And of course, we're testing the power supply, because otherwise it wouldn't work. And we're testing the processor module is there and working, otherwise it wouldn't flash and do any tests. So with this, the tests are quite comprehensive. With other boards, I've got boards with microphones where it can connect to the microphone and detect some ambient noise. I've got tests with sensors like CO2 sensors and temperature sensors, and the test code can test that it works with those. So there's lots of tests you can do. Now, for example, for the Fake Out board, you select the white board and you connect it. And you literally just plug it in like that. It says check, and then it says flash. And that's it. It flashes. And at the end of the process, it's quite quick. At the end of the process, the board runs its own self-test and checks everything, the loop back and LED and everything. And it says pass. And it even does a green LED on the board. Not all my boards do that. The main thing is this says pass. This means the board has said it passed. And you go on to the next board. Now, obviously, if you've got a board that won't pass, you said looking for one. This is one. Okay. Got a board that won't pass. In this case, well, it's already flashed, but it's come up with fail. It would do flashing and then fail. But that's failed. And the failure here is the LED. So it thinks there's a faulty LED on the board. So it's really simple to use and quick and easy for the factory. It even detects things like where the processor itself is obviously not working. Let me see if I can simulate that. Yeah, there you go, fail USB. Right? Where something's wrong with the processor itself, it's not soldered down properly, it can't even talk USB. So that's how it works. Really simple. Thanks for listening.